Exodus chapters 33, and we're going to read from verses 18. From verses 18 all the way to verses 23. Now while you get there, this word glory, the definition of it speaks about the magnificence or beauty of a specific thing. In a spiritual sense, in the light of God, it means the bliss of heaven. It speaks about the abundance, the wealth, the treasures of heaven. It speaks about the presence of the divine being, the manifestations of a divine nature. In other languages, like Greek or Hebrew, it could refer to the emanation of light, supposed to proceed from beings of a particular nature, especially godly nature. I want to prophesy and decree and declare to you this morning. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know what you've been through. But the glory of the Lord is coming upon your life this morning.
Amen.
The glory of the Lord is showing up in your life. And this morning, I'm going to minister. And after I'm done ministering, we're going to pray together. Because I believe that many of us are going through some challenges. We're going through some struggles in our life. But I believe that God is setting us up divinely for a moment in our lives when He's going to break through and break forth like never before.
Amen.
Now if we read the scripture, now Moses replied to the Lord saying, "Show me your glory." And the Lord said, "I will cause my goodness to pass in front of you, and I will proclaim my name, the Lord, in your presence. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion." And then he said, "You cannot see my face, for no one may see my face and live." Then the Lord said, "There is a place near me where you might stand on a rock. When my glory passes by, I will put you in the cleft of the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will remove my hand and you will see my back, but my face must not be seen." Maybe you're in a place where you feel that God's face is away from you. Maybe you're in a place in your life where you feel His face is no longer shining upon you. But I'm here to prophesy to you this morning that God has not left your side. Amen. God has not left you abandoned. If His face is not upon you, it means that He's calling you to follow Him this morning. Amen. So here Moses comes to this place where he has done great exploits for God. Great things for God. And he says to the Lord, he makes a simple request saying that, "Lord, all I need is that show me your glory. Show me who you are. This God who I see, I want to see Him more, but I want to see a physical manifestation, a tangible manifestation. I want to touch from God this day, the Lord." And Moses says to the Lord. And the Lord says to him, "Come to a cleft." Do you know what's a cleft? It speaks about a divide, a broken place. If you have something that is whole, it means if you say this particular item has a cleft in it, it speaks about that item being divided or broken in two. So God puts Moses in the cleft of the rock. And it's very important that we understand that where He places Moses is strategic. He places him in the rock, in a broken rock, in a place of brokenness. It is always in our place of brokenness. It is always in our place of hardship. It is always in our place of trials and tribulation that there and then we see God in His full glory. It is a beautiful thing. It is an awesome thing when your back is up against the wall. Moses was putting that rock. His back was up against the wall. He was in a tough place, a tight place, a broken place. But then only the Lord allowed him to see a glimpse of His glory. What are you going through this morning? What are you facing today? There is brokenness somewhere in your life. You may have it together in every other part of your life, but somewhere there is a brokenness. Somewhere there is a pain that you do not have the answers for, that you don't have the cure for, that you do not have the miracle for, but only God can answer you there because it's a God setup. Amen. God is setting you up for His glory. God is setting you up because He wants to show up in your life. Amen. Amen. Colossians 1:16 says, "For by Him all things were created in heaven and on earth, things visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created and exist through Him, that is by His activity and for Him." It is religious for us to think. It is pious for us to contemplate that God only works in the perfect things. That God only works in the perfect places of the life. That our God, Almighty, infinite wisdom, that we cannot fathom, that He only works in places of perfection and wholeness. It is pious, it is arrogant for us to think as human beings that God is not a God of everything. Whether it is good or evil, negative or positive circumstance, God is the God of everything. Romans 8:28 says, one thing we are certain of, that everything, all things works out for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to His purpose. So my understanding is this: it doesn't matter what my circumstance or my life might throw at me. It doesn't matter if I have to go through times of financial despair and lack and poverty. It doesn't matter if I go through times of sickness. It doesn't matter if I go through times when my marriage is on the rock or my children are sick. It doesn't matter the hardship that comes my way. The one thing that I'm certain of, the one thing that I am sure of, is that my God is the God over everything in this life. So I can call upon His name and I can go up to the heavens and I can make petition unto God because I know He's the God over everything. Amen and amen. Now let's before we get excited, let's research a bit. Go with me to John chapters 9 verses 2 to 3. Now as you turn there, I'm the ideal person to speak on the subject. I can tell you something. When I was in a deathbed in a hospital, when my life was on life support, when the machines were carrying my lungs up, no Buddha came to save me. No Allah came to save me. No money came to save me. No money to restore my health. No friend came to my side to cry for me. It was the men of God, the women of God, those that love you, that will stand you. Nobody came to my side. It was the name of Jesus that I called upon in the midnight hour that came through for me. There's only one living God. You are being set up for His glory. You are being set up for His glory this morning. Now here in John, the 9th chapter, verses 2 to 3, there's a blind man that sits, and his disciples ask him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Jesus replied, saying, neither this man nor his parents sinned. Said Jesus, but this happened so the works of God might be displayed in him. In other translations, it means this happened because the glory of the Lord needed to shine. In John, the 11th chapter, verses 40, you're very familiar with that passage of scripture because it contains the shortest verse in the Bible. Jesus wept. Jesus wept because he saw Mary Magdalene cry for her brother Lazarus. And there and then, when he received the report of the death of Lazarus, he says to the disciples, tell her that he's just asleep. These things exist so that the glory of the Lord can shine. There is two instances in two impossible circumstances, in two impossibilities that by the human mind we cannot fathom, we cannot understand, we cannot comprehend, that we do not have the power on our own strength to move. Jesus says these things exist because the glory of the Lord needed to come past. Research it and see for yourself. I'm here to propose to you that the life of a believer is a life of challenge. It's not an ideal life. In this life, Jesus said himself in John 16, verses 33, he said, you will have hardship, you will have trouble, but take heart, he overcame. He says, I'm here to tell you today that what you are going through, and what you're suffering of, and what the pain that you're feeling in your life, God has given you this impossibility. God has given you this task. God has given you this circumstance because you were chosen for this duty. You were chosen for this task because God knew that mantle only you could wear it. Only you could sustain it. Only you had the strength to carry it. God gave you that duty. And God is going to show up in your life. And when He shows up, and when His glory bursts forth, He will make all things new. He will make all things beautiful. He will make all things magnificent. Amen. You see, our lives are bigger than us. Our lives are much, much more bigger than us. We live in our own little worlds. We live in our own little place, and we concentrate on us. But your life is intricately linked to somebody else. salvation.
Amen.
So God puts us through that test.
Yeah.
God puts us through that moment of despair. He puts us through that hardship. Because suddenly we need to wake up and smell the coffee of what God is doing. God is waking us up, saints. God is waking us up, children of God, to rise up, to smell what He's doing in the atmosphere. He's preparing us for a task, and only you can fulfill. There is preparation. There is a setup of what God is doing. Our life is bigger than us. Our life is much, much more bigger than us. What we serve, the purpose that we serve on this earth, we cannot conceive. We can only understand it when we go up to heaven, what we accomplished and what we did on this earth. Amen. It's hard for us to conceive these things. It's hard for us to understand what God is doing. In Genesis 22 verses 3, God says to Abraham, take your only son and go sacrifice him. Take him up. And the word of God says in verses 3 that Abraham gets up early in the morning. That he gets up, he takes his servants, he takes his son, and he makes the journey to that place of testing. You see, some things, like the glory of God, when it shows up in your life, and before it shows up in your life, there needs to be a testing. There needs to be a shaking. There needs to be an understanding that what God is doing in my life is bigger than me. It's bigger than my family. It's bigger than my community. It's a global move. It's a heavenly move. And as Abraham submits to the call of God on his life and what God tasked him to do, the test came. And he cut him like a knife. Because here's this child that he has been waiting for his entire life. When God moves upon our heart to do some things for him, it hurts us. Because we spend our lives working. We spend our ambitions pushing towards our goals, our dreams. And suddenly he shows up and he says, okay, you got to leave that. You got to go now. Because out of your comfort zone, I'm going to put you in a place that's going to be uncomfortable. You were used to making money, but now I'm going to put you in a place where you're going to rely on me in faith. Oh, somebody talk to me this morning. He takes you out of the comfort zone because the only place you can see God for who He is out of your comfort zone. It's in that place of uncomfortability that you can see who God is, when you can rely on Him. And that testing came to Abraham. And he went up and he took his son and he put his son on that altar.
Yeah.
And he resolved in his mind that he's going to do the deed.
Yeah.
That he's going to take his only son's life.
Yeah.
And God stops him. God stops him before it's too late. The Lord says, I know you will not withhold anything from me. Yeah. You have been praying. You have been asking God for certain things in your life. Are you prepared to undergo the preparation that God has asked for you?
Yeah.
You've been asking, Lord, make me a pastor. Lord, make me a businessman. Lord, make me a great husband. Lord, make me a great wife. Are you prepared to be prepared in the house of the Lord? Are you prepared to be trained? Are you prepared to be disciplined? Are you prepared to be in submission? Amen?
Amen.
Are we prepared to go the mile? Are we prepared to walk the walk that God has called us so He could display who He is in our life, so that this dying world might see that there is a God who lives, that there is a God who lives? Are you prepared to go there? How much do you have inside of you? How much do you have to offer God? If you place it in His hands, He'll surely show up. Here the Lord speaks to Moses. He speaks to the Israelites. He sends them on a journey through the desert. He sends them through a hard journey, a hardship. He comes to the place of the Red Sea. And then there is a challenge. There and then there's a disparity. Then there's a misunderstanding. Lord, what are you doing? You say to delivering us. You taking us through to the promised land. But here we are in a situation, Lord, where there's no hope. There's no way out. But there and then Moses allowed the Lord to step in. There was a glory of the Lord that came down. I don't know who you are this morning. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know what you are facing. the season of our life, in this particular moment, you have been under pressure. You have been under pressure from all sides. You have been pushed down. People have been coming up against you. People have been laughing at you. People have been mocking you. People have been putting you down. You came to a place, you came to a place where you had to ask for handouts. You had to ask people for help. I'm here to tell you today, it doesn't matter what people think of you. It doesn't matter how they put you down. It doesn't matter what you're going through. All you need to understand is keep your eyes focused on Jesus, because the Lord is true. The Lord is faithful about His word, and the Lord is going to show up in your life this morning. I'm here to decree and prophesy to you this morning that the Lord is showing up in your life. What you have been through is a preparation. What you have been through was the setup. We cannot conceive and understand that God would choose us for something like this. We cannot understand how can this God who says that He's loving break our bodies, break our finances, break our home. I want to remind you of that man Paul, highly trained, the best Pharisee in all of Jerusalem training. He came to a point where he knew and he understood. He understood the word better than anybody else. And here he goes on this journey of persecuting the believers, persecuting Christians. And one day as he's on the road to Damascus, he gets struck blind. Let me tell you something. There's a time in our life where God will cause us to be spiritually blind, because He wants the Spirit being inside of us to arise. He wants us to come alive. And then Paul comes face to face with his Maker.
Yeah.
He comes face to face with his Maker. We're too afraid. Everything to us is satanic attack. It's satanic agenda. But here is the Lord. Here is the Lord. In His word, He speaks to Moses. In Exodus 4:11, He says to Moses, "Is it not I, the Lord, who creates those who see, and creates the blind, and creates the deaf, and creates the mute?" You see, we caught up in this culture of religion. We caught up in this happy gospel where we feel, you know what, God is a God of everything, you know, it's all happy and it's all good and all of it. But we misunderstand that He's a loving Father who prepares us for His blessings, who prepares us for His glory.
Amen.
Yet God makes a confession. He makes a confession to Moses that He is the orchestrator of some chaotic situations on this earth.
Jesus. Hey,
God orchestrates chaos specifically designed for us in our life so that we can wake up, so that we can come to know who He is. And God has been speaking to us. You know who you are this morning.
Amen.
God has been speaking to you that you need to release something out of your life. There's something inside of you. There is a ministry inside of you. There is a business inside of you. There is a dream inside of you. There is a plan inside of you. There is a longing. There is a desire. And God is saying that you've got to release it today. Your preparation has come to pass. You have been prepared. You have been waiting and you have been asking. But God is saying today is a day where you've got to step up. You've got to get the faith, because the test is coming. The test is coming to prune you, to prepare you. And some of you have been through your storms in life. And you're wondering now, Lord, what now? Where do I go from here? And the Lord is saying you need to release that which you are carrying. That which you are carrying, you need to release it unto Him. God orchestrates this. God puts these things together. God puts these hard circumstances and situations together. He puts it together specifically because He wants us to know who He is. He wants to reveal Himself in us. He wants to reveal who He is through our lives. You are being prepared. Some of us are afraid. God, what is this that I'm going through? John 10:10 says that the enemy comes back to kill, steal, rob, and destroy. When you're going through a problem, and it's satanic agenda, the enemy comes for 4 purposes: kill, steal, rob, and destroy. So when the enemy has you in his grasp, he takes your life. He has no time to ask questions and to play games. But you know it's the Lord that is with you. You know that it is the Lord that is walking through the valley of the shadow of death with you. When there's always a way out. Because His word says in 1 Corinthians 10:13, He says He will not allow you to carry more than you can bear. But He The Lord never ever never ever lets you go through a circumstance or a turmoil so hard that it takes your life. Your life is always preserved, and there's always provision for you in the situation. If you are in the situation today, say amen. If you are in the situation, know today that God has got you in this place and He's taking care of you, but He's busy teaching you. He's busy instructing you. And God is setting up your life this morning. God is doing something in your life. Because through your life, you are the answer to government. You are the answer to the education system. You are the answer to the law enforcement of this country. You are the answer to society. You are the answer to the family problems. You are the answer to the medical sector. You are the answer for every ill of society that we are facing. You sit with the solutions inside of you. You are sitting with the solutions. And some of you don't understand why is it that I go through this pressure in my situation. Because you have something to burn. There's something on the inside of you that God needs to come out. Because your destiny is bigger than your life. And who God created you to be is bigger than who you are. So stop crying. Stop whining. Stop complaining. Because God knows. God has set you up. God has put you together. God has made you. And He's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. He's going to be with you until the very end. He said He'll never leave you and forsake you. He is true to His word. Amen. He's not going to kill. He's not going to abandon you in the situation. You mean too much to God. Why would a God leave His heavenly throne, come to earth, take the human form, die for you on the cross in a horrific way, and thereafter leave you to live in poverty, and leave you to live destitute, and leave you to live in hopelessness? Why would He do that? Why would He come to earth and die for you only to leave you where you are right now? Amen. You mean too much to God. You mean too much to God. I don't know who you are, but as some of you sitting here this day, people have trampled you over and over again. People have put you down over and over again. I see you this morning, every time you try to get up, the words of people pull you down. And I prophesy to you this morning, the Lord is saying it is over. No more, no more. That trick that the enemy, the Lord is restoring, He's renewing from your life this morning. Who cares what they say? They always hated the Christian. They always hated him. He gave His life for them, but they put Him on the cross. Who are we? Do you think that they will respect us? They will not respect us. They will persecute us. They will put us down. But know through everything that all things work out for the good of those who love the Lord. He will call you. He's faithful to finish the work in your life. He's not going to abandon you. He's not going to leave you this day. God is the author and the finisher of our faith. He's orchestrating all things for your benefit. He's orchestrating all things to your favor. He's orchestrating so things work in your life. Think of the inconceivable. Think so big that it scares you. Imagine so big, so hard, so far that it puts you so much in fear. And know that is God and what God wants for your life, for you, for your children. It's your time for you and your household to rise up and be blessed by God, because God has your address and He knows your household, He knows your problem, He knows your plight, He knows your situation. I declare this morning, some of you wayward children are here in the spirit right now. Some mothers crying before the Lord for their sons and their daughters, and the Lord is saying that they will come to this altar. He's faithful. The Lord is saying that they will come to this altar. Your children carry a destiny. Your children carry something great upon their life. The Lord is not going to leave your family. He's not going to leave your home. You've been set up for His glory. You've been set up for His glory. The first thing for us to understand is that God is not punishing us. Your critics and your haters will tell you that you did something wrong. The first thing those disciples said to the Lord, who sinned? Did this man or his father or his mother sin? And the Lord said, none of them sinned. This was prepared before He was born, because my glory needed to show up, because this unbelieving people needed to believe who I am. The first thing that will come your way when you are in a time of testing is the words of people. They don't understand who you are. They don't understand your journey. They don't understand what God has called you. God spoke to Abraham. He spoke only to Abraham. He called Moses and spoke only to Moses. God called you by yourself. He called you by yourself. He spoke to you and He laid something on your heart. Do not expect people to understand what your journey and your race with God is. Do not expect a stamp of approval from people. Do not expect to get a warm welcome from people. They will never understand. They will never comprehend what the workings of and the makings of our Lord God Most High. They do not understand who He is. It's only you and God who understand your task. It's time to get ready. It's time to get ready for what God is doing in our lives. It's time to rise up because you have been down too long. You have been too frustrated. You have been too hurt. There's too much of pain. There's some people here. Listen. We're breaking out of the culture of religion this morning. There's no religion here. Religion tells us that only certain people qualify for the grace of the Lord. Only certain people qualify for breakthrough. But if I call you out by the word of knowledge and wisdom and discernment, come to the altar. Come to the altar for prayer. Amen. There's some people here, the Lord is saying, there is pain in your life. And you're struggling with this pain. It's either through the rejection or abandonment or hurt in your life. But you're struggling with pain. And you cannot do anything because this pain that's been inside of you, the Lord is saying, and it's affected how you think and what you believe about Him. But the Lord says you were set up for His glory. And the Lord is saying to somebody today, you were set up for His glory. The Lord is saying that I will show up in your life. And He said, I will turn that moment of pain, I will turn that moment of hardship into something beautiful. Amen. Just speak in tongues for a moment there. I said the Holy Spirit wants to move. The Holy Spirit wants to move. There's some people here who need breakthrough this morning. Let's break out of the culture of religion. If you need a breakthrough, if you need a touch in your life, come to this altar when I call out right now. There's some people here where you're failing in your business. There's failure in your business and there's cycles of failure in your life. The Lord is saying today that He's breaking that off your life. Come forward for prayer. Come forward for prayer. The Lord is saying that He's going to break that off your life this morning. It's an area of business that you've been failing in. It's a cycle of failure. It doesn't go away. It keeps coming back over and over and over again. The Lord is saying He's going to break that off your life today. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, in the name of loose her right now. Loose her right now in the name of Jesus. Loose her right now in the name of Jesus. Loose her in the name of Jesus right now. His grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. Right now, Holy Spirit. Wherever my intercessors are, those who can intercede, just stand up right now. Those who can speak in tongues, I want you to stand up. I want you to do something right now. Stand up right now. Start speaking in tongues wherever you are. Holy Spirit, right now, every demonic attachment from this woman's life right now, We break the silence. We silence you right now in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus right now. We bless you. We break there's a big mass deliverance right now. Mass deliverance right now. That's the Holy Spirit is saying. We break this story. We break right now. We bless you. Holy Spirit, right now, move. Holy Spirit, move right now. In the name of Jesus, saturate your people right now. Saturate your people with your presence right now, oh God. Right now, show them your glory, oh Father in heaven. Lord, we cry out to you this day, Heavenly Father, that too long has there been bondages in this place, in their life, and God, we do not accept the curse of the devil. We revoke it. We send it back. We bless you. Pastors and leaders, lay hands and pray. Pastors and leaders, lay hands and pray. There's an anointing, there's a grace right now. God is moving in this place like never before. Right now, deliverance of God from emotional damage and burdens in the name of Jesus. There's somebody else here. You've been doubting in witchcraft. You've been doubting in witchcraft. You must come to the altar right now for prayer. You've been experimenting with witchcraft. I want to lay my hands and pray for you. Come to the altar. The Lord is saying, that thing that you've been playing around is going to take you, it's going to take your family and your generations. Just stand with them, leaders. There's revival in the atmosphere. There's refreshing in the atmosphere. Impart the Holy Ghost. Impart the Holy Ghost. If you desire tongues, speak right now. That person who's been doubting witchcraft, you want to come forward. Your life is at stake. People have been out for too long. I've anointed myself today to break your life. You have been crying and crying. You have been crying and crying. And the Lord says today He's an appointed time. So He's going to show up in your life. I decree, O Lord. I declare today, O Lord, that your life will never be the same, O God. Where there is frustration, it will be no more, Heavenly Father. Where there is bitterness, O God, there will be gratefulness, O God. Where there is frustration, O God, there will be breakthrough, O God. The name of Jesus right now. Sit down and release your praise and praise right now. In the name of Jesus. Power right now. Power right now. Power right The Lord says, break the cycle of your life. He says, break the cycle of your life this morning. That will seem like a hardship. That will seem like a failure. The Lord says, I'm prepared you. And the Lord is making new doors. He's making new doors open your way. This time in the name of Jesus. Father God, give him a new unction. Give him a new unction right now. Give him a new blessing, Lord. Give him a new favor over. Give him new refreshment right now. I declare that his name will come up before people. Father God, I declare his program will go before people. Father God, we thank you right now for favor that you never thought possible. In the name of Jesus. Set up for the kingdom. People stand in the portion. Father God, right now, God, place in the life of your Lord. Bless her right now, Lord. Lead them and guide the Heavenly Father and the Lord. Right now, Heavenly Father. People stand in the portion. There's a place of employment. There's people who have faith. The Lord is saying, He's telling you around for your favor. That He's telling you around for your favor. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Lord, know which time is not death. Our darkness will prevail against our daughter's life in the place of empowerment. And bound it right now and they in the There are people here today at your place of employment. At your place of employment, there is great frustration. Great frustration where you work. There's a deadlock at your work. Come forward for prayer. There's a deadlock at your work. The forces behind that is not earthly forces. There's demonic forces that's behind it. Come forward for prayer. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, my God, my God. Oh Lord, people are coming along from all sides, oh Lord. We might not have time to lay hands upon everybody, but Father God, right now, oh Lord, as they responded to your voice, oh Lord, it's not me, but it's you who does the work, oh God. Right now, upon their lives in their workplace, oh God, I take right now the sword of the Spirit, oh God, and I cut off every demonic manipulation working against your children, oh God. There's somebody who came forward. There's somebody who came forward. There was a promotion that you was denied. There was a promotion that you was denied. Is it you? Okay, what happened? Let's tell me what happened. There was a promotion that you was denied. Right now, in the name of Jesus, oh God, what was meant to right will come back, Heavenly Father. I prophesy to this lady's life that she will come, Heavenly Father, as a testimony to this place, oh God, of what the Lord does in your life. I release freedom right now.
In the name of Jesus. Let me share.
You struggle to sleep at night. You struggle to sleep at night.
In the
You
name
have demonic dreams and demonic experiences. Come forth for prayer. Those forces that operate in deliverance, please go ahead and pray. You struggle to sleep at night. You have demonic dreams. You have demonic experience in life at night. Come forth for prayer. Right now, oh God, addiction, oh Lord. We break the vice of addiction, oh God. We break the vice of addiction, oh Lord. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction, cell phone addiction, pornography addiction, lust addiction in the name of Jesus right now. We break your hold right now. Jezebel, we come up against you in the name of Jesus. We break your control to us. We break your control. Somebody here, you're addicted to pornography. It's so bad that it's affected you as a place of employment. What is calling out? And where you are, believe in your heart right now, see this work for your life. The Lord is sending grace to you. You are victim of abuse, sexual abuse. Sexual abuse, victims of sexual abuse. There is no condemnation in the house of the Lord. There is no condemnation in the house of the Lord. I want you to come forward. Come forward right now. You've been a victim to this. You've been a victim to this injustice. We thank you right now. We thank you right now. We thank you right now. We will not go. We break the soul.
The way you are, start praying in tongues. Please start praying in tongues wherever you are right now. Start praying in tongues wherever you are right now. Spirit of singleness, we break right now in the name of Jesus. You cannot find your partner, you cannot find your wife, you cannot find your husband. In the name of Jesus today, the Lord will give you the strength, He will give you the grace. In the name of Jesus. We thank you right now, Lord God. God is a miracle working, wonder working God. We thank you, God, this morning.